Hey guys, before we begin today, I just want to thank a lot of people who watched my last video, forgiving those who have hurt you. It was to date probably my most successful video. I received 8 emails actually from people who watched my video on forgiving those who have hurt you. Most of these emails that I got were basically people saying how my video changed their perception of, how they see forgiving, or, how they see forgiving other people. And one person I felt really bad. This girl wrote to me how her best friend betrayed her by stealing her boyfriend. And that ended a 30-year friendship. I guess, I'm not going to go into details about that because that's personal, but that person is now trying to, I guess that relationship with that, with her, ex-friend and ex-boyfriend didn't work out, and now I guess they're trying to rekindle things, meaning the two friends are trying to reform their friendship. But, part of this was she watched my video, and my video helped her to change her perspective. And a lot of people, it's good that they do understand it, because a lot of people, they think that, forgiving people who have done them wrong is about, it's weakness, or it's you're too sensitive, or you don't have enough strength or whatever. It's strength to stand up to people. It's the exact opposite of that. Being able to forgive someone is a position of strength. It's power. It's power over yourself, and it's, in many ways, it's power over other people. It's basically the ability. It's the ability to say that, other people and things that have happened in the past are not going to control my life. I'm the one who controls my life, not the other way around. It's a way. It's freedom. It's a way to free your mind. You're able to not be held back by strongholds or wrong thinkings or negativity. It's a way to break free of that. So I'm glad, that, 8 emails, I know 8 emails, only 8 emails, well, that's more than I was ever expecting for being an amateur YouTuber. So I'm really glad that my last video on forgiveness helped people, because that's what these videos are about. They're about helping people. So I'm glad, I was able to make a difference for some people. But today what I want to talk about is taking the concept of forgiveness and moving forward with it. I want to talk about how to send a telepathic message to somebody that you love, whether that be a parent, a friend, whatever. Sending a telepathic message is not as complicated as a lot of people think. A lot of people think, it's something out of science fiction, or that, we need to have part of our brain awakened or something. So we're out there, sending messages to people. It's not like that at all. When you send a message telepathically, you have to think of your mind as a computer. And as most people know, computers are connected nowadays to the internet. Well, likewise, your mind is like a computer that is connected to its own internet, and that is the universe. It's God. It's the Creator. It's, the spirit realm itself. We use the universe and the spirit realm as a network, as a means to transmit our thoughts. And using this method, you can contact somebody in another state, halfway across the country, or on the other side of the planet. It's the limits of of telepathy are almost limitless. There are no limits, is what I'm trying to say. And basically, the way you want to work on telepathy is the best way I can recommend is grab a friend, and you need to, well, for the first of all, sending a telepathic message, you have to be intuitive or a little bit in touch with your intuition. If you're not, then you have to exercise a little bit with it. And the way you work on telepathy is, or at least how I would recommend, is you grab a friend or a parent, somebody who you think is intuitive or can work with you, and you set a time every day, like 8 o'clock in the afternoon, or at night, I guess. And you set a time, and at 8 o'clock, send a message to that person. And I'm going to show you how to send a telepathic message. I learned this from somebody else, another medium on YouTube, and it's actually worked for me. So I'm going to show you guys how to send a telepathic message to someone. Now, the way you receive, before I show you that, the way you receive a telepathic message is you want to make sure that your mind is relaxed. You don't want to have too much thoughts going through your head. It's kind of like the whole meditation principle. You want to be in that relaxed state of mind, and it's when you're relaxed, it's when you're in meditation, it's when even when you're in sleep you can get dream messages this way. You can actually receive telepathic messages in your dreams. And it's through this method, when we're relaxed, that's how, when we don't have all the thoughts going through our head, that's when we receive telepathic messages from people. So, the big question is, how do you send a telepathic message? Well, to begin, and this is going to sound a little crazy, but what you have to do is you have to create some energy. So, we're going to create some energy right now. Remember, we're spiritual beings first. We're spiritual beings experiencing a physical life. And because of that, because we're spiritual beings, we are mostly made of energy. So, the way I do a telepathic message is I take both my hands, I put them together like this, and I start rubbing. For 30 seconds, rub your hands together. Now, by doing this rubbing action, you've probably done this when you were in school. This rubbing action creates friction, it creates heat, but you're creating energy when you do this. So you do this for about a good 30 seconds. You keep rubbing your hands together. We'll just keep going like this a few seconds more. And then when you finish rubbing your hands together, you hold your hands together like this, and you begin moving your hands around. And you will begin to feel in the palms of your hands almost like a bubble. A bubble made of energy. And sometimes it takes a moment, but if you keep moving your hands together like I'm starting to feel it now, you can feel a ball of energy. And what you want to do with this ball of energy, you want to imagine from your third eye a blue beam of light emanating from your third eye into this ball of energy in between your hands. And picture that blue light filling up this ball of energy. And when the ball of energy is completely filled with this blue light, when you've completely filled it up with your third eye, you want to take a very basic message. A message like, I love you, or I appreciate you, or you are a good friend. Picture the person who you're sending it to, and put your message into the ball of energy. And then once you have done that, you simply go, and you throw the ball of energy into the universe. That is how you send a telepathic message. And if you practice it enough times, you'll find out that it works. Now, when you do these telepathic messages, how do you want to do them? Well, here's the deal. When you're doing a telepathic message, you should only send positive messages to people. Positive messages like what I just did in mine. Now, can you send a negative message? Can you send something like, I hate you, or you're a phony, or you suck, or, whatever? Can you send messages like that to people telepathically? Absolutely you can. But here's the problem with that. The universe is a positive place. The spirit realm is a positive place. And when you send negativity, negative messages through a positive environment like the spirit realm or the universe, you're sending the wrong message to the universe and to the spirit realm. You're making them believe that that's who you are, a negative person. And when that happens, you will attract negativity to you. It's the old principle, you get back in life what you put in. So if you put the wrong things into the universe, you're going to get the wrong things back. And you will eventually end up attracting negative, dark, demonic spirits to you because they'll think that you are a kindred spirit. So you don't want to draw that kind of energy to yourself. It's buyer beware. That's the only thing I can say when it comes to that. You can send negative messages. And the other thing is, if you are sending negative telepathic messages to people, and you're using a source like the spirit realm or the universe, a place of goodness and positivity, to send that negative message, the spirit realm knows you're trying to hurt somebody, whether you think it's justifiable or not. So, if you do that, you are also risking karmic punishment on yourself because you are using a good medium for your own selfish desires, really. So you want to make sure that when you send telepathic messages, that you're doing it from a place of love and not hate. I made this video right after my whole video, forgiveness to those who have done you harm. So if there are people out there who you do care about, who you do want to try to reconnect with, who are far away, you have this method. You have this method to try to get in contact with them and to try to tell them what that person really does mean to you. And I encourage all of you to try it. It's not malarkey. It does work. So, I've already tried it with a couple of people, and they received some things. One person received close to my full message. Another person received, I entered their thoughts, but they couldn't, totally interpret it. So, it does work. It does have a effect. And so I recommend all of you to try it. It opens you up to a new world. Again, our thoughts create the universe, and our thoughts create our relationships. So give it a try. And if you have any questions, as always, hit me up. And God bless.